everybody, I'm Debbie Allison and this is Crazy Felix and you're watching Polymer Clay by Deb. Hi everybody, welcome back to Polymer Clay by Deb and the second episode of Ask Deb. I'm Debbie Allison and this is Crazy Felix. Everybody already knows him and he is getting a jump and head start on Halloween in his brand new tiger suit. Isn't he cute? We have a lot of questions today that people have asked me about polymer clay, so Felix and I are going to try to answer them for you. And we'll go ahead and get started now. My first question today is from Waikiki Grandma, and she went out and got a couple of tiles to bake on like I suggested, and she wanted to know if it made a difference whether you use glazed or non-glazed, and the answer is no. Now if you want to avoid getting a shiny gloss on the bottom of your clay where it was on top of the tile, somebody suggested that you use white computer paper and that it doesn't burn and you will not get that shiny finish on the bottom of your clay. And the next one is somebody's asking me to do a tutorial on a Yorkie, and the problem with doing a tutorial on the Yorkie is it takes just too long. It's probably a 3 or 4 hour ornament and you all would be bored to tears. Now my next question is, this person wants to know that what to do if you don't have an oven. And you can't bake polymer clay without an oven, so you could go out and get a toaster oven. That works just fine. Microwave oven does not work. You could also use air dry clay and you wouldn't need an oven at all. My next question is, somebody wants to know how I get my clay flat. And I believe I had a tutorial on using the pasta machine, and that's how I get my clay to be even and flat. Crazy for Crafts wants to know how long I've been making crafts. And I have probably been doing crafts since I was 10 years old, and I'm not going to tell you how long that's been because that will give my age away. So, but it's been for a very, very long time. And Laurette from Louisiana, I'm not sure if that's a foreign country or not. She wants to know what else cookie cutters can be used for besides polymer clay, and for the obvious thing would be cookies. I don't know what else you could use them for. LaMaddie, she wants to know how old is Felix. Felix is 5 years old, and we adopted him 3 months, at 3 months old from the SPCA. So he is a little rescue kitty, and he has 5 other little kitties in the household that have been rescued as well. LaMaddie also wants to know, what kind of clay do I use? She says that she uses Sculpey 3. I use Sculpey 3, Fimo Soft, Primo, and regular Sculpey. Just depends on what finish that I'm trying to achieve. Sculpey 3 is the least expensive of all the clays, but it is the most brittle. Alright, and moving right along here. Sharper Rules. She wants to know how I get my clay balls consistent. And it's just trial and error. I'll roll out one clay ball, and then I will roll out another one, and I will add to it or take away from it, just depending on the size, until I get them relatively equal in size. Sweetie Girl wants to know what exactly is polymer clay. Polymer clay is an acrylic clay that you can use in your home oven to bake, and it's relatively simple to use and not too expensive. Okay. Miriam wants to know, is it the same as cold porcelain? And the answer is no, it's not. I believe cold porcelain is something that you have to mix with different ingredients that you make yourself, and polymer clay is something you just buy. And I also think that cold porcelain is air dried, but I've never tried it, so that's all I know about it. Am Cool wants to know if I can do a tutorial on the standing mouse that I had in the video, and I'll just have to give that some thought. Then somebody else here asked, she says that she washes her hands every time in between the colors that she does her polymer clay, and the clay still turns grayish. Now, that's just a problem with the clay, especially white. What I will do after I have washed my hands is I'll take a piece of white clay that I just have standing by and roll my hands like this on it, and that'll take some of the extra dirt out of your hands, and that seems to help. Super Candy Fairy asked if you can mix Sculpey 3 with Primo, and the answer is yes. I do it all the time. I will mix Fimo Soft with Primo and Primo with Sculpey, and here again, it all depends on the effect that you're trying to achieve, but it works out just fine if you mix the colors. Alright, so moving right along here, Lily Vaughn wants to know how you avoid fingerprints in the clay, and there's just really no way to avoid it. Now, she's asking if I keep my clay firmer, and probably yes. I like my clay to be kind of firm, and it wouldn't show as much as far as fingerprints go, but there's not much you can do about it except wear gloves, like surgical gloves, but I think that would just be too hard to feel the clay. Now, Sour Neon Crawlers, she wants to know if the fishing line melts or burns in the oven. And it does melt in the oven, but it shrinks. So anytime I'm using fishing line, I just use it longer than what I need it to be, and sometimes I'll just use it very, very long, and then you can always trim it after it's baked to the length that you want it. Melinda wants to know how you get your pasta machine clean. And she says that she uses wipes and she still gets streaks in between using different colors. And here again, I'll use like a piece of dirty clay or clay that I just keep on hand. And I run that in my pasta machine in between colors, and that seems to help. And somebody else wants to know if you can use acrylic paint with white Fimo. And I have not found that that works very well. You pretty much have to use oil paints. And I don't use paints really except for doing polka dots, and then I will use an oil-based paint. Alright, I have somebody asking if you can bake your clay on a wooden plaque. And I guess you could bake your clay on a wooden plaque, but it's not going to hold to the wood. You're going to have to use glue. I wouldn't recommend it. I would go ahead and bake it on the tile, and then when it's done, if you want to put it on a wooden plaque, then glue it to the plaque. I think that's the best way to do that. Craftsy Me wants to know if I can make a German Shepherd, and the answer is that's another one that takes way too long for a tutorial. Rajesh from India wants to know if he can use a regular oven, and the answer is yes, I can use a regular oven. In fact, I do use my kitchen oven to bake all of my clay. And somebody is asking me to make a bunny cell phone charm, and I get a lot of requests for a lot of different things, and basically I have to do things that I sell. I do this for a living, so I do need to make things that I'm familiar with that I can do quickly for a video, and I don't sell cell phone charms, so I've never really made one, and I don't think I'll be able to do a video on that. Somebody else wants me to do a Hindu god, and that's another one that I don't think I could sell, so I doubt that I'll be able to do that. And somebody else wants to know what kind of clay to use, and any kind of polymer clay is what I use, and I think that's probably your best bet. My Hammy wants to know if I will be doing any more tutorials in the near future, and the answer is yes, I will be doing plenty. Well, Felix has joined us for the conclusion of our Ask Deb segment. And if you have any questions, just leave them at the bottom in the comment box, and I'll be happy to answer them in the next episode of Ask Deb. So until then, visit our Facebook page at Facebook.com/Deb & Company, or our website at debandco.com. So we'll see you next time. Bye now.